right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Whale Pod. You know what we do here, and if you don't know, if it's your first time with us, this is where we explore different ideas, ventures, talk to entrepreneurs, new businesses that are innovating, disrupting different industries, and evaluating what our thoughts are, and seeing if the whales, which today is represented by myself, my partners Jay and Adam in the show, are not with us today, but we have an exclusive interview with a guest from our first episode, Thomas Stiegwardt, who presented with us back in November. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, Arman. November, December, it was like just a few months, and it really feels like, wow, we are together forever, like an eternity, in the best way, in the best sense. I mean, so many things happened. Like, even in my dreams, I couldn't imagine everything like evolving in the way it did it. Like, it was crazy.
It's wild. So to recap for the audience, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we had that talk in mid-November, and it was you in front of Jay, Adam, and myself, and we were just starting to get to know each other. You just moved here a few months before that, and we knew we had some common interests, and you were into crypto and design with your art background. And so we invited you on to pitch your ideas, and we thought your ideas were great. We gave you some feedback, and then we ended up, just for the audience to know, collaborating together.
Everything
and here we are now, 90 days later. We ended up, so everyone knows, inviting Tommy in to our project that had some branding, but not where it is today. So it's pretty cool fusion of where you came from, where we were coming from, and this kind of explosive immersion that we've had in the last 90 days. I mean, what are your thoughts, feelings, and observations on what we've done in the arc of what we're, and you and we together are planning to do? Because now we're all in it together, the Whale Pod.
Well, I think there are like different things from different worlds. Like, I'm from Argentina, that's far away. For people who don't know, we are on the other side of America, like we touch Antarctica. So I came here with some ideas as an artist, with some designs, and starting a new life. And then we started to talk, and you said, I have this project. I said, I have my project. So somehow distance wasn't important, because we were like in the same alignment, you say? Like aligned, like in the same vibe and the same kind of ideals about what we can do with art, storytelling, crypto, avatars. And somehow I knew I had to talk to you. I heard the name, like, oh, you have to talk to Arman, you have to talk to Arman. A lot of people say, when I was pitching myself, like, okay, I do that, I'm an artist, okay, you have to talk to Arman. Some even thought, oh, he's so crazy, he is gonna understand your your project, you know? So, but because not everybody understands at the beginning. They say, oh, I'm doing some characters, and it's gonna be a story, and it's gonna be sold, but in a crypto ecosystem, and what you're on, I'll say. And then, like, if the waves started to get together, we are all swimming in the same ocean. And then you showed me your manga, like the Aura Stones, which I love the name. Of course, it's related to Billy. That's Billy the blue whale. But the Aura Stones, I said, oh, that's mystical. I love mystical thing. And that's how it started. And that was like, and then everything was like a tsunami. Like the ocean became a tsunami, like days without sleeping, and sending us messages at 1 o'clock in the morning, and trying to, and that has had his first stop and first, I think it was a success in Art Basel in Miami.
Yeah.
So we were there, and it was so intense, and we did so many things after that. Seems like 3 years ago.
So long back.
And it was like 2.5 months ago.
Yeah.
So, and all these characters which we presented as NFTs, and we're telling the world now, we're talking about avatars, yeah? And so this, yeah? And here's Boris the bear, Ignis the lion. Oh, you have a lion today.
That's right.
And everything, it's the aura stones. So we started with that, and then we said, okay, what else are we going to do? And then this guy told, I think I'm going to do a basement for kids and for young, where? In New Jersey. So I'm going to rent it. Okay, I'm going to start. Okay. And I want it thematic. And I don't know if people know what you have here. So
Not yet. They will soon. Right?
I mean, if not, go into the websites, look for Basement Sports, because Basement Sports is about sports and about games and about art and about storytelling. And it's a rocket to the sky. And then we made all what you can see here was made like thinking about this space and all what, and I think that's the beginning. We talked a lot about that. Like you're going to tell also all what things that are coming. But then again, for your question, for me, that was first, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. You trusted in my art and that we can understand ourselves and saying, okay, we're going to do that. And now I feel I'm part of, how you call it, the pot, like the whale pot.
Yeah.
And it's a responsibility because there is a lot of expected that, because we have very high standards in quality and narrative, in storytelling, in art. Even this place, I mean,
Yeah.
this is a beautiful podcast studio,
Yeah.
which is in a place, for those who doesn't know, called Blue Whale Studios. Because everything is about the blue whale now, yeah?
Yep, that's right. No, it's amazing what's happened. Like you said one time when we were in the airport coming back from Art Basel, like, when are they going to pinch us and say, okay, wake up from the dream, right? And that's how I was just feeling this week, because I was in another dream about, okay, this is in the blue ocean and the seas of the Caribbean, where we have a lot of connections to this story and its roots. Maybe that's where the seeds were planted in my brain. But I think one thing I want for our audience to recognize and see through all this is just what it takes, the leap of effort and faith and determination that it takes just to do. I mean, we're just scratching the surface, right? There's 90 days, but it's been a super effort, an intense and incredible commitment. So from when we first started working together and talking, we didn't even know exactly what you were going to work on. And even remember we were going to Art Basel saying, oh, we need to create a video, 2-minute video for the Tire Swing song. And I was going to work with the other artist. And you're like, maybe I can do some, the NFTs. Then we were going to do the NFTs. That started with NFTs and then with the video. And who's going to do the design? And then you said, I can take a shot at it. And you did. And this man didn't sleep for, at least a month between that December time frame and the January 4th when we launched in here. And so, yeah, definitely invite people to look at it and to follow the story on bluewhale.earth for the Blue Whale side, and then basementsports.com, and then the Fusion. And it just shows, a few people have said this to me recently, including your Argentinian friend that came here, Calixto was his name. He said, it's when he taps into the things we're doing and the way we're thinking, he said it feels limitless.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in this limitless zone of possibilities. And I said, yes, that's exactly what it feels like inside me too. And then of course, we still need to structure, wake up every day and say, what's the focus? How do we continue taking the steps to connect everything from the ether and the air down to the base? That's why I see we're at the base level. I started on the 7th floor and descended now to the base level to bring down right in the same 7 floors above right here. It's pretty incredible how we ended up here in this. Now this is our pod, is our studio, and working together from when you were pitching us those your crypto and creative and manga ideas that are now fused. I know some of the creative touches and the symbology that you've brought into the cards, and how it's now got a whole astrological significance. It's been really an amazing and fun creative process. It's been a pleasure and a honor to work, with you, for myself, and we're in the midst of the creative. We're in the eye of the, not even storm, if you want to call it that, the eye of the creative process. And there's a lot to do. Every day we're checking in about what to do. And we really, I feel, have to, as we both keep agreeing, keep the creative flow, the new creation of new ideas as always the priority, right? Because there's a lot to do with blocking and tackling and getting prints done and all that. I mean, that's part of the creative process, but the storytelling and what we did yesterday with Anis, who's our developer for the NFTs and the astrologies, that's important because we're continuing to push the threshold and then also the story, the manga itself. If we want to make a movie, we can't make a movie without a completed story.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we're bringing families and kids from the community who are coming in and they're choosing our characters, and then we're bringing those characters into different creative parts of the experience. Let's just leave it at that for now, because we don't want to talk too much about things that aren't manifest yet. That's what the entrepreneurial journey is about. You have to give enough vision, but not go too far, because you can go beyond where people can grasp how realistic is this, right?
Absolutely.
That's the challenge for guys like us, because we can go far, and then you lose people in the crazy, and they're like, well, how do you make money, right? We got the base now.
That's a big challenge, because it can be done. You see it, but in the middle you need a lot of things to come together: investment, structure, like physical things, and that's another thing. I mean, maybe we knew it, but we are still learning it. Like, you need a team, like where everyone knows and makes the things work better. For example, today, to have this set all working perfect, is Micah here. So he's the one who makes, I mean, I know I can do it, but he's like the eye and the mind who is on the details, which I lose, because I'm thinking, I have to do that, then I have to do that, and then I have to write, and then I have to design. So it's impossible to do something if we are not like really first like a pod, but not only of friends, but of professionals.
Yeah. People
who knows what they're doing, and they can be like very strict in the best way. Like, that is, you can't put the light there, you have it up there, and that has to be here. And the same happens with every part of this project. So for me, it's so important to be surrounded by people who makes, in some sense, my life easier, even by being, hey man, that's not working. Like, it happens, like, hey Tommy, no, that's not working like that. That's working like, okay, oh yeah, I have to learn. I was a creative all my life. I did films, let's say, besides drawing, which I always did, more in directing and in the soft skills.
Right.
So what I admire, like cinematographers, like the people with the mics, and even in the marketing, like someone who knows exactly what it has to do. And as you said, I'm willing to learn because I need it, but sometimes you have to, I have to come back and go to my creative flow so I can produce more ideas, and that's a very difficult balance for an artist, for an entrepreneur, because you are always pulled, like, now you need that, and now you got a phone, and now you need that, and at one moment, day has 24 hours.
Yeah, you can lose yourself. You can lose yourself.
Absolutely.
That's what I was responding to yesterday, and even you heard me talking today to Jay. We have to take in different ideas, different energies, and we need that. We need the energy from the pod, from the group, and everyone, especially as people come into their roles and play them well. But we can also there can also be a lot of distractions in there and disruptions. And so I see that as part of my work for myself and the team. If I see people are getting distracted or myself, okay, hey, Tommy, I can't come work from here. I need to work more in a more quiet space. You needing more quiet space for especially the creative process. Uninterrupted, extended and uninterrupted quiet time, like phone on vibrate, phone off, airplane mode, and just going in.
Absolutely.
And I know for me, I can't just do that on demand too. I need to be in the right mindset, whether it's a food situation or rest, like be in the right place to then go into deep, high-level creative stuff. It's not just like, you don't just bang it out, you know?
It's not that you have a button here or you make like
Yeah,
that.
I'm not AI yet where I can do that. And yeah, speaking of that, I think AI it's an interesting conversation. I don't know if we want to go too deep into that, but I think that we're finding ways, as you saw, have those new Meta AI glasses and took them on this recent trip to Caymans in order to revive some of the tourism business that we had more of, and also to use some of this new tech. And it's really a combination of really camera tech and AI in a very creative sense. So not sure how exactly that's going to apply to all the projects we do, but it seems like it's just going to be everywhere, right?
Look, I have I don't know if I think we talked about, I'm also a journalist, so I write some articles, and I wrote 45 articles about AI, using them and using different things and trying. And so when more deep I went, not only in using them, but in thinking about, and I hear all the people panicking about, oh, AI, now it's going to replace us. I understand the risk. I mean, I am from the generation who grew with Skynet and Terminator and so the Matrix, and okay, I understand that, but it's a tool. It's as any tool. You just need to understand the tool and use it. If not, the tool is going to use it. Is going to use you? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a tool. I mean, I remember when I started I went to a traditional art school in the 80s where we didn't have digital, no cell phones. And then Photoshop, Illustrator, CorelDRAW came, and people were, oh, now the art is lost because it's a tool. It's
Right.
a tool. And the AI is a great tool.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
It's a tool.
I would say late to use it. I hesitated a bit. People saying at the beginning, 6 months ago, oh, you could use it to help you write proposals and this and that. I like to craft things and write things myself, but I've come now to start testing it and using it as a partner, as an assistant in writing ideas, and especially because I have so many things going on, to help me remember and synthesize things. Because if I have things, it's like, hey, Meta, ChatGPT, whichever one you're using, and just putting all that information there, because I don't have an assistant. And if I could talk about it in meetings, but who's capturing it and then reminding me, synthesizing all these ideas. And I know that some of the developers I've talked to are worried that it's going to replace them for coding. And I'm saying, why worry? If we have a 10-person development team and we can use AI well, we can operate like a 100-person dev team. And we don't have to raise as much money and get as diluted. We can actually profit more as a pod, as a team. Like for some of the games we're building and other things we're doing, let's figure out how to use it so we can do more with less. We can do more with less and then have more efficiencies and offer even the market cheaper, more affordable products. That's the premise on which I'm exploring the tech side, the creative side, the marketing side,
Absolutely.
the content side, etc.
Yeah, and also to understand that tools can be dangerous, as a car can be dangerous if you don't know how to drive it.
For sure.
But even here, we talk a lot about the insights we have from life. Like I decided that in this first part of our project, I'm gonna use everything handmade, because I don't want to be influenced on the easy solutions.
Sure.
But for the process, like animation, dubbing, we're going to use it definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have to, because we're not going to have a $50 million budget like Pixar.
And that allows us to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And we are less. I mean, I think in kids from 8, 7, 6 years that they're gonna use these glasses in
Of course.
immediately.
I should have been wearing them for this podcast, but for the next one, I'll put them on, because the cool thing is we could be here as we're being recorded, and I'm also recording you from this angle and showing, hey, what does it look like behind the scenes in the set? I don't know why it does have a limit with 3 minutes is the maximum, maybe because it doesn't want to burn the battery. And the charging, it does run out of charge quickly, but then you put it in the case, like ear pods, and it recharges.
Okay.
So I think it's very cool, and I'm just a week into it and already seeing the light. I just don't like wearables on my body personally, and I'm very much not a big fan of wearables and putting even phones in my pocket for 5G and all that stuff. I'm a believer of, as I think you are too, to some degree, of like keeping our vibrations high, and that's
that's a challenge.
It's a challenge, but like you said, it's the world we're in, so we just have to find ways to have access to nature and pull the Wi-Fi plug, and that's a different conversation. But
Wait.
The kind of things
this
I
is
do.
conversation, but I'm a big
Yeah.
Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to go to that too. Yeah.
So, Jedis have lightsabers.
Yeah.
They don't have swords, metal swords.
Yeah.
That means that you can incorporate technology, and even with the risk, like as you said, 5G technology, vibration. If you try to be in the right vibration, it's not easy. But that's why I think at Jedi's they had the lights.
Exactly.
set.
And I was thinking about when we're like nowadays talking to Hey Meta, walking around, I'm thinking this is my R2D2. I've got my, this is, okay, Hey Meta, hey Gemini, hey Google, hey Siri, whoever it is. Because for the Blue Whale Oristone story, I am working with ChatGPT. I'm doing the writing, but give me some name suggestions for a character. So some of these names came from me choosing amongst lists that were generated with, hey, go check the database, give me names. There's a fire lion. Give me some names, right? Okay, Ignis, cool. But for coding, I think I'm going to probably work with Gemini because I think it could generate more structured code. So I'm thinking, okay, who's going to be my personal assistant to help me with reminders for calendars and lists? So I'm looking for my R2D2 partner, and right now I don't like wearing those glasses because I don't wear glasses most of the time. So I'm going to need something on my phone or computer, some combined, maybe multiple tools to build that information database that could then help me, and I train it the way a good AI is supposed to be trainable, and it could be a great assistant for
Absolutely.
me the way R2D2 is there.
R2D2, and if you remember C-3PO, the golden one, was a language model.
Exactly.
He was a translator. That was his skill to translate. So, and
it's all been written and shown.
And,
right?
and talking about visionaries, George Lucas, that's a visionary. Yeah. And I am not too much about having my favorite, admire people, but Leonardo da Vinci, George Lucas, it's different, but like people who could see somehow the future. Yeah. Because Leonardo da Vinci, he was a painter, he was an architect, he was a musician, he was even a cook, he could sing.
Polymath. There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. He made all this mathematics and so the difficult part in this word is like how to integrate everything when word is like needs that you be specialized in something.
Right.
And people love that. They say, oh, what do you do? I do this. Yeah. But from this, I do this.
Like,
okay.
What are you? Are you a doctor? Are you a lawyer?
And doctor
how dare
of which
you try
part?
To be,
From here. Okay, that's great. And of course it works. But sometimes you need to go like start to fly. And start to fly, or in this case, start to swim.
Either one. All the elements have their mode of transportation. That's, well, you see, as we were just looking at today, another topic that I don't know how deep we go into, but it's cap table. So for startups or any business has their cap table, which is part of the DNA of who needs to care and why. right? If it's an investor and they've written $1 million check, they care for that reason, whether they're getting 5% or 50%. There's an investment, there's a commitment. A founder or founders have their percentages and whatever those percentages are, and there's a reason for that. There's a rationale for that. It's what value are you bringing at that point in time, and then of course a cap table, which is basically the equity ownership of a business, can change and adapt over time as new investors or new contributors come in. It's basically a value creation gauge. Who's adding value and at different levels of the project, and then what's that value worth in the marketplace? Is someone willing to buy a book, a coloring book, trading cards, join as a membership of a club that only is going to have 400 members that have special privileges, as we're doing in Superbase? So cap tables are a very interesting discussion. It's rarely discussed because people see it as like a legal, technical, financial thing, but it's really based on value creation and the level of creativity and contribution that one makes to projects. Now, someone could also, if there's just a lot of cash in a business, just get paid cash, right? The way if I had a job and you had a job at an agency or a company, can just make a 6 or 7 figure salary, and that's value generation. I don't have to own a piece of the business to just get paid well, and that's a different relationship.
And that's the different agreements.
Yeah.
I like a lot to understand the etymology of words. So, salary comes from sal. Sal is salt, because in the past you got paid with salt.
Earn your salt, as they say.
So they paid you with big or small bag of salt. And in Spanish, salario, sal, is the same. Sal is salt.
That's nice. That's a really good point. Yeah.
So, and that's why, I don't know if you have here the tradition, but in some countries, in Italy, you never give, if you have salt and on the table, and you want to, you ask me for salt for your chips, you never give salt in the hand of another person. You put it here, and you take it. And then why is that? Because when they came from the ships and they put the salt in big bags, what if in the middle it fell in the water? That's money. So I put it here and you take it. In the middle, we never know. Oh, and now it fell. Okay, who?
Got it.
And this is this. And another word which is very interesting is talent, because human talent is one of the, and whatever the talent is, and talent was the coin of the ancient Egypt. So they related a coin with a capacity.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's strong.
That sounds like coins, stones, crypto, right? It's currency. It's now currency is that flow of life, of energy, of creativity, of talent. Yeah. That's wow. That's intriguing. I like this etymology. We could have a whole you could have a whole podcast just about that. So okay, let's close up on this note. Now 3 months in to this project, after coming here, new country, 50 plus years. We don't have to, age anybody. In Argentina as a resident and, Argentinian. Now you're in America, in U.S. and New York, New Jersey. 6 months in, 3 months into this. But now honed in on this particular project and what we're working on, what do you envision over the next 3 months? What 3 months from now, if we're sitting down, right now we've got this coloring book and stickers and our NFTs and the space and the characters. So 3 months from now, what are we talking about?
Okay, we're going to be it's going to be, some things are going to be ready, like especially in the space, for people don't know, but it's growing, so it's a new place, we're growing, but, and some more clarity about the storytelling and starting to produce our new manga and the animated series. So you said 3 months more, and I said, and we have 3. So I believe in this 9-month cycle from woman giving birth, like carrying a child. So if you say 3 and 3 and 3, in 6 months, something is going to be born.
Yeah.
And it's going to be something powerful. Of course, in the middle there are going to be a lot of challenges, like creative challenges, production. But that's how it is.
Yeah.
So imagine like you're 3 months. 3 months we're here. We have this. Like, and here we have even our stickers, right? And I say like, hey man, we have stickers. Like Disney has stickers.
Yeah, we've got characters. I mean, I think about those characters. The kids come back in and ask questions about those characters. There you go. There you go. Well, let me put my lion. Let me put my
lion.
Lion on.
Lion with lion.
There you go, right there. Ignis. Channel my inner lion today. And I think about these characters, and the kids come in every day and they ask questions. Who's the most powerful one? What's going to happen in the story? And this and that. Is the dragon good or bad, right? Is it bad, good? They're asking all these
and that's
questions.
incredible, because when of course, you were the one who created all these characters, and I made all the drawings afterwards, and I say, okay, I knew, of course, Billy was important, but for example, the shark, I thought it was a lower character, so not so important. Kids love the shark.
Yeah, the boys especially, right?
The boys love the shark. And you know what that means? That you never know. You can imagine that, oh, that's going to be, and it doesn't work. And something you said, okay, that's it. Kids love the shark.
That's true.
Everyone, I want to be the shark.
Fang the shark, yeah. So the story's really coming together. We've got 5 chapters written. I've got chapters 6 through 10 in my calendar every day. Sessions planned, and then the creative process of bringing the designs for the 85 pages we have and onward. So yeah, within 6 months.
In 6 months, we have 9.
Yep.
So then we have to release our first full narrative storytelling creative child.
Yeah. And we've got that Pirates Week coming up, so I'll just plant that seed and everyone will learn more about that. So you see, guys, this is how the creative process works, or can work, when there's proper flow and when you've got a pod together. It's exciting. Work has to be fun. Please do your best to enjoy what you do. And if you're not doing something you enjoy and love, then a good time to look in the mirror and look inside and try to find where you have skills and abilities, and you could get. Sometimes you enjoy what you do, but it's not with the right group. So sometimes it's a matter of fit and community or just the group that you're with. But one way or another, what we're going to keep bringing you here is new ideas that are presented to us or that we're talking about, and talk about the creative process, so you can kind of get inside the pod with us and kind of see what's cooking. And we're going to just keep sharing the journey along the way, and look forward
Absolutely.
to
I want to say something, because, I'm here for 7-8 months. I'm pretty new. I'm 56. Okay, I can't say my age. And I know the whole society is like being like moved for politics and economy and everything. And what I want to say is I'm living my American dream. So when people say, oh, that doesn't exist, wait, man, I'm not from here. And I never thought that in 3 months we're going to do that. So there is something here. There's a kind of energy that maybe, as happens with oneself, locals can't see. There is an energy where everything is possible. So that's something to care about.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it and living it. That's why I wanted to be like, to say it, because maybe you're in it, you don't see it. You think the world is like so easy. No. Things happen here, it's not so easy. And here is some kind of magic that makes that this or whatever other things exist, and that's so important.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
That's an inspiration, and you're an inspiration. And that story of you coming here without, maybe a plan in your mind for sure. And I've seen what you've gritted through, and to come by yourself and now bringing, hopefully the rest of your family over. That kind of persistence, that is what's possible anywhere, but I would say here, you're proving the American dream version. So I've been here my whole life, and I'm also living it. I'm the son of immigrants, and they came here so we could have these kind of opportunities. So let's keep doing it, man. Let's keep doing it. Boom.
Good.
All right,
Thank you.
guys. Whale Pod. See you next time.